Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to RDR2. Today we're going to be talking about the meaning behind the song Cielito, Lindo that is sung by Javier Escuella in the game in Chapter 4, where, spoiler alert, he sings the song to the whole gang after you rescue Jack and bring him back to the camp, and everyone is reunited with him happily, and Javier sings the song. It's called Cielito, Lindo. It is a Mexican copla. I don't know, like, my Spanish is shitty at best. I mean, I understand what you're trying to say to me in it, and I understand, like, some words. Anyway, it is a popular Mexican copla. For those who don't know what copla is, it's a form of popular Spanish song. And other names for it is copla andaluza, canción andaluza, canción española, tonadilla, or canción folclórica. My Spanish is god-awful. If I mispronounce all that shit, I am sorry. Anyway, the title of the song roughly translates to lovely, sweet one, though cielo means heaven or sky in Spanish. And example of use of the word cielo is like Gallo del Cielo, that old Tom Russell tune, you know? Anyway. In the song title, Cielito roughly can be translated to lovely woman. The title pretty much translates to sweet lovely woman, if you understand what I'm trying to say here. Though the song isn't usually referred to as its name, Cielito Lindo, it's actually usually referred to from the refrain in the song, Canta y no hilos, or simply, as English speakers say, oh, it's the I song from Red Dead 2. Anyway, the song itself is has been recorded by a ton of artists, English and Spanish speakers. Pretty sure there's a German speaker recorded the song, I believe. Anyway, the song was composed by Quirino Mendoza Cortez, who was a Mexican author and Mexican patriot. Now, the song itself is set in the Sierra Morenas mountain ranges of Mexico in the Zacatecas regions, or Zacatecas, however you pronounce that. Like I said, my Spanish is god-awful. It's probably one of the more famous songs in Mexican culture, and has been sung by a variety of artists. For example, Tito Guzer, Pedro Infante, Vincent Fernandez. Those are not Vincent Fernandez. He was I don't know if he's dead or alive, but he was the very famous mariachi singer and actor, and he's more famous for singing Volve, Volve, or Por Favor de Amor. He's also in the movie Los Tres Garcia. Now, the song itself, it's composed in the classical Castilian stanza, which is known as Seguidilla. Example is it's several lines of alternating hepasyllabic and pentasyllabic verses. I don't know what the fuck that means. I'm not a music major, but the lyrics themselves, when recorded by various artists, varies from artist to artist. So the Red Dead version is probably the most accurate version to the original lyrics. Now, the song itself in Spanish sounds a lot better than it does in English. I'm gonna be honest with you. Now, there are a few different versions for it, but the song itself, though, what it's referring to is there's this Mexican bandito and, well, Spain. The song originally, the Sierra Morenas were also a mountain range in Spain, and that's what the song could be referring to, because the song itself is pretty much from the point of view of a Mexican bandito or a Spanish outlaw, bushranger, bandit. And the song itself, it talks about how this bandit, he's in love with this girl, and he calls her a sweet, pretty one from the Sierra Morena. And he describes how she has the prettiest pair of black eyes he's ever seen, and that she was so pretty and sweet that he always tries to think by to go and see her. And in the song, he's saying to her, singing don't cry, because singing means there will be rejoice, and make her heart swell with happiness. And pretty much the rest of the song goes on talking about how he loves this girl so much that he wants to be with her. And he describes her beauty, talking about that beauty marks that she has on her, how she has a beautiful smile, and that he wishes that she would wait for him to come and be with her and marry her and whatnot. And he talks about how he's been hit with Cupid's arrow and stuff, and how he's developed true feelings for her, and she has developed feelings for him, and how he loves her and wishes to be with her. And the song itself then repeats back into the lyrics again. Now, pretty much, and the overall meaning of the lyrics is he's comparing her beauty to the fucking mountain ranges. That is pretty much what Cielito Lindo is about. And to be honest, that is probably the sweetest song I ever heard. Like, I've heard a lot of love ballads and shit, you know? I mean, I listened to Meatloaf's Bad Out of Hell. That's a fucking love ballad right there. But Cielito Lindo, that's just some other type of beauty, to be honest. And once you figure out the meaning behind that song and why it's more... And going back to Javier, the main reason he probably sang that song is because he's a Mexican extropate. He's a revolutionary. He's a bounty hunter and a former vaquero, or a chero, because they create charritas down there in Mexico. Well, vaquero and chero, they're interchangeable, but some Mexican states have different meanings for cowboys and whatnot. So, a farmer and, well, my buddy Wolf's called fucking Complexity a fucking ranchero. Well, I call him a ranchera. He's a little bitch. But anyway, and the meaning behind Javier singing this song is because, in reality, the dude's homesick, alright? Like in chapter 4, he has a picture of his bounty in Mexico up on the wall. It says he's wanted for treason and murder because he killed... Okay, the story of Javier coming to America in game is because he killed a Mexican cavalry officer, an army officer, some shit, because the officer was harassing this girl he loved. And he got into a fit of rage, and he went and killed the cavalry officer, army officer, and fought in the revolution down there. And eventually, they cornered him, and they forced him to flee. And the other sad thing about this with Javier is that, apparently from what I've heard, is that the girl was later killed by the military down there because she had ties to Javier. And I feel like I might be getting too much into this, thinking it logically and shit, but the true reason Javier sang this song is because he's reminiscing about this girl he loved, and he missed he loved how beautiful she was and shit. And honestly, now that I've looked into it more and I'm telling you all about this, it kind of makes Javier really more of a tragic character, you know? Because like in Red Dead 1, Luisa Fortana's saying, oh, Javier, he's a cynic who desperately wanted to be a romantic, and John's a romantic who wants to be a cynic, you know? And now, if you think about it, you now understand why she's calling Javier a cynic, because he loved the girl, you know? And we've all had experience of love, no matter who we love or what we love, you know? There's something always in our life that we love passionately, you know? And for Javier, he loved that girl a lot. And then she got killed because of him, and he always kind of felt guilt for that, and he missed her dearly. And it kind of just made him, and as we've seen in RDR 1, just shows him he's just regressed into this former shell of his former self, and he's just become the people he used to want to fight against and be free from. Honestly, to be honest, that probably makes Javier the most tragic character in Red Dead's overall story arc and shit. On a side note, though, I'm gonna admit, Javier has some fucking bomb-ass clothing. Alright, he has some fucking drip. Look at that bandolier and shit. That is a nice-looking bandolier. Man, you can tell this man is a fucking fighter. But anyway, folks, I hope you all enjoy this video. I'm done ranting and rambling. Anyway, so that is the meaning behind the song Cielito Lindo and why Javier sings that song and the meaning of the song for him and everything. Anyway, Thank you all for watching. Good luck out there, and peace. Please subscribe. I would appreciate it. Anyway, goodbye, and have a blessed day.